I saw her vanish into the night. One moment, Princess Amina was standing in front of me, laughing softly, and the next, gone, just like that. And no one in the village talked about her again, ever. It all started when I was a young man, working as a blacksmith's apprentice in a small village at the foot of the mountains. Our kingdom was ruled by a wise and fair king, and his daughter, Princess Amina, was known throughout the land for her beauty and kindness. But it wasn't just her looks that people talked about, it was her heart. She had a way of making everyone feel special. The old men would tell stories about how she had healed the sick children with herbs, how she helped build schools for the poor, how she walked among the villagers like she was one of us. She would spend hours in the village square, chatting with the women while they wove her baskets or gathered firewood, laughing like we were all equals. I first saw her up close one summer evening. I was walking through the village after finishing my work at the smithy when I heard a soft laugh. I turned around, and there she was, Princess Amina, standing at the edge of the marketplace, a basket of fruit in her hand, her hair glowing in the warm light of the setting sun. She looked like a dream. She smiled at me and walked over, her eyes sparkling. "You're the blacksmith's apprentice, right?" she asked. I nodded, nervous. I had never spoken to a royal before. "I've heard you make beautiful tools," she said, holding up the basket. "Could you make me something special?" I wasn't sure if she was teasing me or if she was being serious, but I nodded again. "Of course, Your Highness. What would you like?" She lowered her voice, as if sharing a secret. "A ring, a small one, for someone who means a lot to me." My heart skipped. I couldn't understand why she would want a ring made by someone like me, but I agreed to make it. And she smiled again, this time with a warmth that made me feel like I had just been given the greatest gift. Over the next few weeks, I worked day and night on the ring, making sure it was perfect. The whole time, my mind was filled with thoughts of her. I couldn't stop imagining her wearing the ring, the way she would smile when she saw it, but I never expected what happened next. One evening, as I finished the ring and made my way to the palace to deliver it, I saw her again, Amina, standing by the edge of the royal garden. She was looking out at the stars, her face serious for the first time since I had met her. "Your Highness," I called out. She turned to me, her eyes still filled with that same softness. But something was different. She looked sad. "I'm glad you came," she said. "I wanted to talk to you." I handed her the ring. She took it, turning it over in her hands. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "It's perfect." I waited, but she didn't seem like she was going to say more. Instead, she looked at me with that deep sadness in her eyes. Then, without warning, she reached out and touched my cheek. "I have to go," she said, her voice breaking slightly. "Go where?" I asked, confused. I I can't stay here anymore. Not with what's coming." She pulled her hand back, as if realizing she had said too much. Before I could ask her anything else, she turned and began walking toward the forest, away from the palace. I followed her for a while, calling her name, but she didn't turn back. She disappeared into the trees. The next morning, the kingdom was in shock. Princess Amina was gone. The guards searched for her for days, but there was no sign of her anywhere. People whispered about a mysterious illness. Others talked about a curse that had taken her. But no one ever spoke of her again, not even in the markets or by the firesides. I never saw her again. The ring I made for her stayed with me, tucked away in a small chest under my bed. I never showed it to anyone. And to this day, I wonder, did she leave because of something she knew would happen? Was it love that made her disappear? Or was it something darker? The villagers said she had fallen in love with someone, but I always thought she was in love with something else, something that pulled her away. Every now and then, on quiet nights when the stars are high, I can still hear the soft sound of her laugh in the wind. And I swear, just for a moment, I see her face in the distance, fading into the dark. But when I reach out, she's gone, just like before.